Case 3, The Partnership. They were college classmates, just friends, but the Venn diagram of their connections and vision looked about like this. Their backgrounds, however, could not have been a whole lot different. So meet Tiffany, first-generation immigrant from China, single mother. They had that in common. And Tiffany's mother's proudest refrain was that she scrubbed toilets at night and day so that Tiffany could attend Stanford University on her own. No student loans, no scholarship, no handouts from the government. That was a big deal to Tiffany's mother. Borrowing money was just a practice drawing shame in Tiffany's mother's culture. Well, Tiffany wasn't conscious of it, but she lived to continue and accelerate her mother's long march from poverty and oppression to success in the land of the free and the home of the brave. Through some mix of nature and nurture, Tiff had inherited her mother's nail-eating hard work. That grit was the only quality that exceeded her brilliance. She was strong enough for any curveballs that life threw her way, and when traditional approaches didn't give her adequate leverage, her mind and body combined to find a way to win. Well, Tiff and Norm partnered on the university robotics team and were, feared. They had their own way of doing things. Tiffany handled the math and power optimization and operating system controls, and Norm, he designed and built everything else. There was something about their work chemistry together that drew them closer. They just spent a lot of time together and spoke the same language, even when they didn't have to speak. As she checked and double-checked her perfect calculations, tucked into the back of Tiff's mind were her relatives in China. Tiff still peeked back and brainstormed what she could do for her aunts, uncles, and cousins who were still trapped in the poverty of rural communism. Her abiding vision, which powered the perfection of her work, was to oversee the entire family's immigration to the U.S. She loved this country. This vision would not be simple or cheap, and it would require the type of financial and political capital possessed by very few people on the planet. It would also require the most sought-after and scarce capital in the world, intellectual capital. And for great intellectual properties to be minted at a world-class level, the fomenting of that intellectual capital needs more than one mind behind the creation of it. So, once Norm started spending more time outside the house, he and Tiff were inseparable on campus as they moved between advanced courses and labs. Well, Norm had seen Tiff scowl at the behavior of their softer peers who spent their time alternating between campus pubs and protesting various causes they really didn't understand. The big impact on Tiff came from this structural disconnect. The students had no idea what real difficulty was. They seemed to make up problems to protest against because, their lives were too easy and they were bored. Kind of like characters in an Eagles song. Her mother raised Tiffany to be tough. The time you made progress in life, she intoned, was when life got hard. And the people who pressed when others recoiled ended up being the winners. Well, Tiffany took that to heart, and like a Darwinian wrestling match, she found the vulnerable spots in her less strong, less convicted, less certain competition. And, then she took them out. Norm was the harvester. She was the hunter. Together, they were a unified, complete team, and the level at which they automated machines and had mastered the art of mechatronics created what was the envy of the Silicon Valley beast. It's called the unfair fight, and when you have it, you usually win, and win big. So in the burgeoning technocracy that has come to dominate global power, politics, and wealth, the world had become their oyster.